Hello, Julie here and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm doing Roxy's Weekly Challenge week 15. Okay, so let's get started. I have got it's 2 sheets of 220 GSM paper stuck together purely because I had the paper and I thought I might as well use it rather than print double-sided on one of them, so it is nice and sturdy. Now I've stuck those two together and I have also got this one here that I'm going to use to make the envelope that is included in this project. So what Rachel did was she folded this side over to make a pocket. So let's say I'm going to fold that over about that much and burnish that down. If I keep that parallel, then this fold along here should be straight. Because it's 2 sheets of paper, it can be a bit tricky to fold. Okay, and then this piece folds over onto there. We match those edges up. I can see a bit of white on there, so I'm just going to trim that off quickly because I don't want to see a bit of white on there. So I'm just trimming off the thinnest piece. Now I'll fold that over to meet the edge there. And there. I've got that nicely lined up. I'm going to fold that down like so and burnish that. Once again, because it's a double layer of paper, it is quite sturdy. Alright, now how tall do I want to make this? It's going to go in the journal page will be that high, so I'm going to cut some of it off. I don't want it to be that high, so let's say I'm going to make it 7 inches high. There's quite a few layers to cut through here. Okay, so that's our little folio so far. That's the base of it. Now I'm going to make an envelope out of this and it's going to go on here. So I probably would like my envelope to be a little bit shorter than that. So I'm going to make my envelope 6 inches wide. So I'm going to cut this at 7 inches. How wide is this? That's 4.5. So if I cut this off at 10, and that off at 7. Well, what did I say I wanted? No, yes, I wanted 6, so I'm going to cut this off at 7. Now I want, well, this is going to be sideways anyway, isn't it? So if I fold that up like that, yep, that's fine. So about there. So I'm not measuring it, but you could if you wanted to. Then I'm going to fold that one down to like that. Oh, I should have check that. I probably want that to be a bit less. So I'm going to move this back a bit. Move that down a bit. And that is going to sit on there, and that's going to have a bit of space all around. That's good. Okay. Now I'm going to use my school board. And I'm going to score half an inch down on each side. Okay. I'm going to cut the four corners out. Yeah. So an angle there, and then cut this piece out. Same on here, angle there, and cut that piece out. Now you could of course use a pre-made envelope, that would be fine. But I thought I'd make one so that it blends in perfectly with the rest. If you were using a plain pre-made envelope, you'd probably have to collage over the top of it so that it blended in. So that was the other option. I could have just used a pre-made and added this paper to it. Okay, so let us, I'm going to ink the inside. Oh, I don't really need to ink the whole inside that thing because that's going to be stuck down, but I will ink just in here because this will be seen when that comes up. You can still see that part there. So just a little bit of ink in there to give it a bit of colour. Now we can fold these back over. Like so. Okay, so that's going to come up like that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to corner around those. Properly. And these two. Okay, I will ink around the edge of this because you will see it, and once I stick that down it will be very hard to ink around. If you're going to sew, you could sew around it now as well. Let's stick this down, so I'm going to run a bead of glue along here, the inside edge of the flap and the outside edge of the piece that folds down. You don't want to go all the way up to the top on this piece because this part doesn't fold up right to the top. Okay, finish that down. I'm just going to run my ruler through there to make sure that there's no wayward glue. And there we have our envelope. Now this is going to go over here, like so. So now I do need to ink around it. Okay, I think that might be everything inked up. Now what I need to do is put this on here. Now, you can do a couple of things. You can just attach here, and then you've got a pocket there, your tuck spot. You can stick it down completely. You can trim this back so that there's only that much of it on there. What shall I do? I think I might just make a pocket there. So I'm going to run some glue. Some glue along there, and along there. Try and make it about central. Probably should run some glue along there as well, just along the edge. Oops. And stick that down. Okay, and we can stick this little pocket down as well. Actually, before I do that, I need to put a thumb notch here and ink that edge. Glue there, glue here. Down. I can see I've got just a little whisker of white showing there, so I'm going to just trim that off. Okay, so now I'm going to ink this. You can see there why I inked that part of the envelope. So this is a little bit, it's basically the same but done in a different way to Rachel's little project. She started off with, well, she did a couple. She did one that she just started off with a book page and then collaged all over it. And then she did one with digitals. So that is basically the little project for today. Of course, you can embellish it. Now, you can fold this whichever way you want. You can have your envelope inside, and that would be your outside. You can have your envelope on the outside. You can flip your envelope to the back and have this with the envelope on the back so it opens like as that. I like that, so that's what I'm going to do with mine. Now I'm just going to embellish the front of this a bit. I've got some fussy cuts here from the kit that I haven't used yet, so I might try and find something in amongst these. That is too big. That's too big. Although it wouldn't really matter if it did hang over the edge because the edge is still protected. Is that one? What have we got here? I could cut that leaf off. I do like that one on there. What else have I got? Got a big cake. It blends in a little bit too much, doesn't it? I've got a cup of coffee and I've got a camera. I quite like the camera. I think that's what I'll go for. I'll cut this leaf off. Yep. Yes, that fits okay. Now, let's ink around this. Put something behind it as well. What should we put behind it? Cheesecloth. We can put some lace, or we can put some... I have got some of the green fabric that I used on the cover. Like that. Now, let me get some lace. So what do we think of that? I like it. So let's cut that off of there. And we can stick this down more to the bottom. Like so, and then we will put the lace over the top, or should I let a little bit? I think I'll let a little bit of that show, and I'll put the scalloped edge like that. So let's add a bit of glue. The glue's having a hissy fit today. I could use my art glitter glue, or I could use Fabric-Tac as well. Any of those glues will work. I know that this glue works with fabric as well, so this is the Boyle's glue. It's an EVA glue, so it's got that acetone smell. So not good for those that are sensitive to that, but I'm not. And I like the fact that it sticks. It gives me a little bit of wriggle room, but it doesn't take forever to stick either. Oops. I'll pull that over. Okay, so now just have to add this. Is that all we want? Do we want a label or something down here? Not really, I don't think. I think it just gets lost. Circle, no. No, I think that's good enough on its own, actually. So let's stick that down. Make sure we get right out to the tips. Alright, so that's our little project for today. Little flippy, I think Rachel called it a folio. I haven't got anything handy at the moment, but I'll put something in there, put something in there. And then this could wrap around your journal. So let's say this is your journal page. It could wrap around your page like that, be held in place with a clip or whatever. And then when it's on the other, when it comes this way, oh, we've got a pocket there we can put something in as well. Might put a little bit of something on here, and then that will open out like that. And on this side we've got that, which opens out to that. So I think that's a great little project. Very happy with it. Okay, so thank you for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I'll put a link to Rachel's video in the description box, of course. And yeah, I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye. I thought that I would just do a bit of quick decoration on this pocket. I'm going to add this. I have inked around all of these. So all I have to do is stick them down. Now that's going to overhang that pocket, but that's fine. I don't have any problem with that. And I'm going to put this down here. And then this will go behind or over the top of our lace, just about there. Just a little round label, and then this tiny envelope that I made for another page in my journal. This was left over. I'm just going to pop that down there like that. Okay, so that gives us our pocket there where things can go in behind. Okay. Alright, so that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed my video. I'm very happy with this little project. I think it's great. So, thank you for joining me, and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye.